Farmers gather in Ottawa to demand passage of Bill C-234 amid rising carbon tax costs. Hundreds of farmers from across Canada gathered in front of Parliament Hill on Wednesday to demand the passage of Bill C-234, a private member's bill that would exempt natural gas and propane used on farms from the federal carbon tax. The bill, introduced by Conservative MP Ben Lobb in February 2022, has passed through all stages of the House of Commons and the Senate, and is awaiting royal assent. However, the farmers fear that the Liberal government may delay or block the bill from becoming law, as it has done with other bills that oppose its climate agenda. The farmers say that the carbon tax, which increased to $50 per ton of carbon dioxide equivalent on April 1, 2023, is hurting their competitiveness and profitability, especially in light of the COVID-19 pandemic and the ongoing trade disputes with China and the United States. We are not against fighting climate change, but we need a fair and reasonable approach that recognizes the unique challenges and opportunities of Canadian agriculture, said Mary Robinson, president of the Canadian Federation of Agriculture, which organized the rally. Bill C-234 is a common-sense solution that would provide relief to farmers who rely on natural gas and propane for essential farm operations, such as drying grain, heating barns and greenhouses, and producing feed. According to the CFA, the carbon tax cost farmers an estimated $1.9 billion in 2022, and will cost them another $2.3 billion in 2023. The CFA argues that the carbon tax does not account for the carbon sequestration and emission reductions achieved by farmers through practices such as no-till farming, cover cropping, rotational grazing, and biogas production. The CFA also points out that the carbon tax exemption for natural gas and propane used on farms is already in place in Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Ontario, which have their own carbon pricing systems that are separate from the federal one. The CFA says that the federal government should respect the provincial jurisdiction and harmonize its carbon pricing system with the provincial ones. The rally was attended by several opposition MPs, including Lobb, who sponsored the bill, and Erin O'Toole, the leader of the Conservative Party, who pledged to scrap the carbon tax altogether if his party forms the next government. Farmers are the backbone of our economy and our food security, and they deserve our support, not our punishment, O'Toole said. The Liberal carbon tax is a cash grab that does nothing to reduce emissions, but only makes life more expensive for Canadians. A Conservative government will repeal the carbon tax and implement a real plan to protect the environment and create jobs. The rally also received support from some environmental groups, such as the David Suzuki Foundation and the Pembina Institute, which acknowledged the role of farmers in mitigating climate change and called for more incentives and support for them to adopt clean technologies and practices. The Liberal government has not yet indicated when it will grant royal assent to Bill C-234, or whether it will propose any amendments to it. The Minister of Environment and Climate Change, Jonathan Wilkinson, said that the government is committed to working with the agricultural sector to achieve the national target of net zero emissions by 2050, but did not comment on the specific bill. We recognize the importance of the agricultural sector to our economy and our society, and we appreciate the efforts of farmers to reduce their environmental footprint, Wilkinson said. We are investing in programs and initiatives that help farmers adopt clean and efficient technologies, such as the Agricultural Clean Technology Program, the Low Carbon Economy Fund, and the Clean Fuel Standard. We are also engaging with farmers and stakeholders to develop a national strategy for climate-smart agriculture, which will outline the actions and policies needed to support the transition to a low-carbon and resilient agricultural sector.